my attention that I may have a receding hairline. Okay. So in previous videos, I was taking masonry hammers. I think I've got one here. There we go. Rock hammers, if you will, masonry hammers, and forging these into spike tomahawks. Well, they've been quenched, they've been tempered. I've done a quick fit up on the handles here. And now I want to start finishing these out so that I can get them over here in my box of available axes here at Axon Main Forge Memory. Now, these are drifted for standard tomahawk handles. Usually drive that down a bit. I'm not going to right now because I'm going to take the head off of this to clean it up. And then I'm also going to burn the handle. I'm going to show you guys a couple different ways that you can do this, okay? So if you have a tomahawk that you need to fit a handle, or maybe you're going, I really don't, the natural wood's okay, but I want to make it just a little bit cooler, maybe something like this. Just saying that looks kind of like that. Then I'm going to show you how to do that. Like I said, I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do this. And one way, which is, I'm going to say it's dangerous, it's just not the safest way, and that's to do a wire brush finish. Now, the reason it's not the safest, or maybe it usually just hurts when you do this, is because those wires have a tendency to come off and stick in you. And that usually is unpleasant. So what I'm going to do, we're going to take this, I'm going to put it in the vise, and I'm going to take a wire wheel to it and start cleaning it up. I'll probably do one side and then show you the contrast between the two. Now, of course, you could take one of these and finish it out just as a black head. I remember I had 3 axes or tomahawks that were pretty similar. And I ended up taking those 3, and I did one. I cleaned it down, ground it down. I did one where I just, I think I oiled it, and then I shot one with some black paint. So each one had a different kind of characteristic to it. So I am going to recommend using some safety glasses for this project because, like I said, the wires are mean. Okay, that didn't take too long. In fact, you know what? As well as that worked, I just might use that on all 3. Check that. You've still got texture. You've still got hammer marks before, after, before, after. And it didn't take very long. So this is, actually, I think that's just what I'm going to do on these. It seems to work pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with the results. We started using Quickdraw 521, I want to say it is. And the scale comes off a lot easier. A lot easier. Right, grab the right number here. ahead and flip this over. Okay, pretty happy with how that went. Got a nice wire brush finish. Now let's see how that looks on the handle. You know, that doesn't look too bad, but we can make it a little bit better. Okay, so you can always stain these, you can burn them. What I like to do, I like to do an oil finish and then light those bitches up using my forge or a propane torch. So in this case, I'm going to be using a forge, and go ahead and start the forge. Okay, so while that's warming up, and I don't need it real warm by any means, but I need it hot enough, I'm going to take some oiled linseed oil here, whatever brand you choose to use. You can actually use vegetable oil or plant-based oils for this if you choose to, or really whatever kind of damn oil you want. So I'm going to take this. You can see where they hold that in a lathe. I'm not grinding these down, sanding them down, or anything like that. And I've just applied a coat of linseed oil. Now this will swell the handle. Not only will it swell the handle, it's going to strengthen the wood. And for men of a certain age, you may need to strengthen your wood by using linseed oil on your tomahawk handle. Okay. So now I'm just going to take this and put it in the forge and rotate. And you can see how it just kind of gets real bubbly. Now, in part where the wood grain is opening up, that's absorbing oil. And that's also the reason I oil before I burn. Do a little bit of striping there. This works pretty good. However dark you want to make it. Now, that is charred pretty good. And while this is still hot, I want to go ahead and add another coat of oil, because it's going to absorb, and I don't want this handle to crack. Now, you can have some grain separation if it's too dry or you get it too hot. And you can see as I paint that on there, the little bubbles where the oil's displacing the, I guess, the air in the grain. And I'm just going to keep put a fairly even coat on that. There we have it. There I have it. And here, I'm actually going to let this soak. Cheyenne was nice enough to bring me some paper towels, but in this case, check that out, night and day from what it was. And I'm going to go ahead and I want to set this, and then I'm going to turn this over to Cheyenne. She does a lot of the shooter producer stuff here. Actually, can you rotate that towards me slightly? Looks pretty cool to me. I like that. So I'm going to set this aside on my railing and just let this soak in. If you want to turn it so you can see, or however, I mean, that's up to you. So next, I think this was the second one I did in the video. I could be wrong. Hell, it might be the last one I did in the video. I'm going to go ahead and clean it up. Of course, I'm going to use the wire brush method that I just showed you. I was going to show different methods of doing this, Cheyenne, and since we started using that Winchell 521, the scale comes off so much easier. So we've got before and we have after. There's still a little bit of scale on this. I'm actually going to leave it that way. things I have found to be a little bit of a pain on this is, are you protecting yourself from wires over there? When you start throwing wires, when the wheel starts wearing down, it becomes a little bit of
a pain.
A little bit of a pain, literally, but also trying to find wheels as you're wearing them down. So this is what I've got so far. It's not terrible. This handle is not my prime choice in a handle, but it's what's going to go in this one. And you can see it's got just a little bit of a warp. Now I'm going to take that out using the vise, some oil, and some heat.
And you already told them for certain ages they can help with wood straightening, right?
Yeah, you can straighten your wood that way.
Of your tomahawk.
Of your tomahawk. Now, when you start applying oil, that's when you're going to notice the grain of your tomahawk really starting to pop. And I'll be honest, like when I was younger and we would go to rendezvous, a little bit spalting on it, we were mostly just worried about finding a handle that would fit our tomahawk easy enough without having to work it down, rather than how straight it was, if there's some warpage, or of course a lot of the stuff we had was all mild steel where we got cast heads. And down, see where it is. Or I'm actually going to stretch that over. And hopefully it'll cool that way. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and add some more oil. People, I'm going to ask you, if you would, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to at least 1,000 subscribers, and we're almost halfway there. That worked pretty good. So now, come in here. Like it now, I am going to put a little more oil on this. And cheap paintbrush works well for that. Sometimes I'll use a rag, or I'll use a paper towel, but they get tore up easier. And just a chip brush. This isn't a chip brush; it is an actual paintbrush. But you know, chip brush are cheap, and when it gets clogged up or worn, you can just throw it away. But there it is. Okay, final one, and this I think was that might have been the first one I did on that build. It's got a skinny spike to it, long blade. Let's clean these up really nice that way. There you have it. All right. Okay, next. Just going to go ahead and oil this up. Although this seems to be a better made handle, I cannot say that that it's that pretty. I think this may be ash. Some of these are ash, some are hickory. Here I go, Cheyenne. You got it? Okay. Got this one pretty dark, and it smells like popcorn. Would you say it's a popcorn smell? For those of you trying to smell your screen right now, good for you, little fella.
Popcorn and fresh baked bread.
Yeah, there's definitely a carbohydrate smell to it.
Like sourdough bread.
Yeah. All right. That is soaking up quite a bit of oil. I used to be a little more selective about how I would burn my handles, and sometimes I do really light. Cheyenne, you have a tomahawk over there where you did a light burn, right?
No, I haven't burned this one
You
yet.
haven't burnt that. Or do you want to burn this
I'm
one?
going to do a tiger striping on it.
Do you want to demonstrate tiger striping?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish putting my tomahawks together, and I'm going to sharpen them up. Cheyenne is going to demonstrate a tiger stripe burn on hers. You're going to need some more oil.
I'm gonna definitely need oil. Because I deep burn certain areas and light burn the others.
So what I'm going to do, drop that through. Now, if you are having trouble driving this on, I recommend use a mallet instead of a hammer. Hitting too hard with the hammer generally
Cracks the
cracks the
handle.
wood, which is not awesome. But I'll say that axe is pretty damn awesome. Head is just a little. There we go. A little wonky. Jaws don't line up quite right. But I'm going to go ahead and sharpen these up. But until I do, let me get Cheyenne set up on this. And you do use the torch for this, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Trade me spots. Thank you for the water.
Yes, dehydrated.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have to be careful with mine because it is sharpened. And the red on the handle is not from the wood. That's because I like to target practice with this.
Now, this is your tiger striping is different than my tiger striping. My tiger striping, I just put stripes clear across each side, and you do an alternating.
Yes.
Now, is there any reason that you do that, or is it just a matter of preference?
Matter of preference, but it also keeps the handle heated equally to where I am not altering the bend or straightness of the handle.
So you find that you don't get
Any weak spots.
any warpage or anything?
Yes.
And then your phone rang.
And whoever it is, they can wait.
Okay. Now, this particular tomahawk, this is your personal hawk?
Yes.
And, well, tell us a little bit about it.
So I do a lot of foraging, and standard spike hawks were not doing what I needed them to do, especially when I am foraging for sassafras.
Which you use for?
You can make tea out of it. You can make candy. A lot of people also use it in a lot of people use it in teas, candies. It's originally used in sassafras or sarsaparilla. That's what it is. Originally, what root beer used to be made out of.
Okay.
It has anti-inflammatories in it. It also has, there we go. And then after I get all the alternating stripes, go back in. And deepen that grain.
So you do your dark burn, and then you go over and you enhance the grain with the torch.
Yes.
All right. Now, are you going to do an oil coat after this?
Absolutely. With what I am doing, I am drying out the wood. That's why I do the oil beforehand as well. Is when the grain structure opens up, I'm able to get the oil in there, which helps preserve the handle as well.
Awesome.
It's a longer process, but it gives you a different look.
Go ahead and take the call. She messaged me.
Okay.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
Different designs. Thank you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll catch you a bit later.